After 10 long years, Pikmin 4 is here, and having collected every treasure, found every castaway, and picked every min, it's time to look at some Easter eggs and fun facts in Pikmin 4. There will be spoilers. Of course, let's start at the start. In the first two games, the title screen consisted of a top-down view looking at a bunch of Pikmin, spelling out Pikmin. It's really cool, had a bunch of different variations. The third game went for a more traditional approach, and Pikmin 4 is much the same, featuring the logo in the corner with some beautiful footage of the sun-speckled terrace, the first area, in the background. When loading up the game, there's a chance you'll see the familiar initial shot, and then the camera pulls back to reveal this cool scene taking place on the living room table of the hero's hideaway. I'm not sure if this can occur randomly at any point, or instead has a chance of appearing after beating the game, but either way, it's fun. We can watch Oatchi and the Pikmin lounge around, a red Pikmin yoinks a cookie, a winged Pikmin swoops by to grab another, and then everyone is scared off by a Bulborb, and the scene resets. As for idle animations, I noticed a few things. Oatchi will occasionally sneeze, causing nearby Pikmin to hop in surprise. The Rescue Corps character will occasionally stretch, and sometimes the Pikmin will mimic him. Oatchi will occasionally lie down for a brief snooze, and 5 Pikmin can hop on his back and bounce around. Your character will also move close and examine some Pikmin, and they'll follow his movements as well. I tried using all types of Pikmin at varying amounts, and it seems that these idle animations are the same no matter what type of Pikmin. Also, I sat for like nearly an hour, and no matter what, I couldn't get these silly vegetable people to do the animation, but it is possible, I've seen footage, for the Pikmin to just dance around Oatchi while idling, which is very cute. Onwards, treasures. There's a bunch in the game, and there are multiple treasures in the Soulful Musician series, 3 of which being the mechanical part that you'd find inside of a music box. The Memory Song, Mechanical Harp, plays the intro theme of Pikmin 3. Schnauz describes it as nostalgic, familiar yet mysterious. Olimar, interestingly, says that the melody makes him nervous, as if it's a warning about unexpected troubles in the future. I won't get into the whole Pikmin timeline discussion, but from what I can tell, Pikmin 4 seems to take place before Pikmin 3, so this makes a lot of sense. The Lullabies harp plays the music that accompanies a sleeping piranha in Mario 64. With Schnauz's report describing feeling like you're staring down a creature with a mouthful of razor-sharp teeth, the only one who finds it relaxing is Louie, hinting to the fact that much like a piranha plant, he's a monster. Lastly, the Windmills harp plays the Song of Storms from Zelda. And Olimar's report talks about how his son is always playing an adventure game where, much like in Zelda, he becomes a hero, defeats his arch nemesis, and saves the day. On that topic, Pikmin 4 has a number of video game treasures in the newly nostalgic series. The Game Boy Micro is the special Mario 20th anniversary version, and pressing the action button will power it off and on. The Game Boy Advance SP action is to close it and open it, which is cool. There are also 2 Game Boy Advance games. The first one is Shin Onigashima, part of the Famicom Mini series of releases, which reports of Famicom Disk System games, while its main characters, Donbei and Hikari, appear in Kirby's Dream Land 3, Super Smash Bros. Melee, Brawl, and Ultimate as collectibles. The series never received any kind of English release. Either way, when viewing the nostalgic series as a whole, Shin Onigashima will be in the Game Boy Micro, and we can watch and listen to its title screen. The other cartridge is the original Japanese release of Kuru Kuru Kurin, which was released under that name in Europe and Australia back in 2001, and then was playable for the first time in America in 2016 with the Wii U Virtual Console release. Also in the series is a GameCube disc of Wave Race Blue Storm. It's been 22 years since the game was released, and while this isn't a sequel, it's nice that it got a mention. As for other treasures, the French-suited playing cards are taken from Nintendo's standard Trump NAP622 red set, while the Hanafuda cards are based on Nintendo's Daitoryu Hanafuda set, which features Napoleon on the front of the box. Fun fact, that word means president, and Napoleon crowned himself Emperor of the French, not president, so the name is kind of wrong, but either way. There's also a fidget spinner. No fun facts here, it just makes me sad that this is nostalgic now. It spins if you use the action button. The tally counter is stuck at 2001, Pikmin's original release year. The temporal mechanism is stuck at 1008, and while I'm not sure if this is modeled after a specific real-life pocket watch, on the back is the words, "Every second is of infinite value," which is actually a quote from Johann Wolfgang von Goethe. The Memory Fragment series consists of a bunch of light brown jigsaw pieces. When viewing the completed set, it reveals a dog, but not just any dog. This is actually the box art from Nintendogs, Dachshund and Friends, which released on the DS back in 2005. Last thing I'll mention regarding treasures is that when you view the completed series, you can check out the put-together version of the toy robot and the train set, which actually moves around. Moving onwards, while playing as Olimar, the version number shown on his tablet is 10.2.6, referring to Pikmin's original release of October 26th. And throughout the rest of the game, your tablet version is 20.0.1, which is again the release year of the original game. Switching gears, after obtaining the first sort of ending for Pikmin 4, the Rescue Corps changes gears and searches for a veterinarian to help Oatchi. In doing so, we also have to find her two crewmates. While everyone, including myself, saw them as the dollar store knockoffs of the crew from Pikmin 3, all signs in-game point to them being related to their Pikmin 3 counterparts. Don Bergman, aka Dobbs, and York both mention that Nelly is related to a botanist, aka Brittany. Dobbs and Nelly also mention that York is the oldest of 15 siblings, and both York and Alf's bios mention being the grandson of a Dr. Drake. And also, Nelly and York talk about how Dobbs had a partner called Ducky, obviously referring to Captain Charlie, who always carries around a rubber ducky, and apparently has a pet duck named Elizabeth. Here's an unfun fact. There are only two Mamuda in the game, one in Blossoming Arcadia, the other in a cave in the final area. Despite being quite docile and just wanting to chill out, only fighting back when provoked, Nintendo forces you to murder both of these Sackboys if you want 100% the game because both of them contain treasures. And that's just mean. Also, Louis knows that the Mamuda tastes like chicken, so he's the villain. As for caves, there are 23 of them in Pikmin 4, and one of them, in Serene Shores, is particularly familiar, namely the Engulfed Castle, which reuses the layout of multiple levels from Pikmin 2's Submerged Castle, which also featured the terrifying Water Wraith as an obstacle/mini-boss. When moving around with at least 20 Pikmin in your squad, occasionally the Pikmin will either sing or hum one of 6 different tunes. If you perform an action or stop moving, the Pikmin will stop making noise, so I carefully tiptoed across the terrace to keep my noise to a minimum so you could actually hear their humming. Here are 4 of the tunes that many people have identified, and then their original. For these last two, I'm not exactly sure what tune they're pulling from, but if you know for certain, with 100% confidence, be sure to comment down below so that we can know for sure. But here you go. All that said, I think we're going to end things here. Big thanks to my channel members for their support, and a dog-sized thanks to Captain Crayfish for being a super fan. If you enjoyed this video, why not leave a like, maybe subscribe, and of course, if there's anything else that you want to see in Pikmin 4, let me know in those comments down below. That's it for this one. Bye.